to day 14, the real world, that goes right along with the video. Really quick. Sit up, sit up, sit up. All right, so I want you to take 2 seconds to read the problem. This is exactly based on the video. No, we're just going to watch the one we just watched. Guys, you guys should be quietly reading through the problem. I want you to think about, is this a falling objects problem or velocity? Right, he's falling out of, is he jumping with the canoe? Is he taking the canoe and jumping out? No, he's just dropping. We are on day 14, the real world question. So go back to your notes because I know some of you didn't do this. So I want to go over it with you. So what did we decide? What type of problem is this? Velocity or falling objects? Velocity. Is it velocity? Falling objects. So what is the model for falling objects? What's my model? You guys tell me. What's my model? H of t. There's also a poster behind you. Guys, what is my falling objects model? H of t. Thank you. Negative 16t squared. Is that it? Plus h naught. So what 2 pieces of information do we need to look for in this problem? The initial height, I agree. What else? What is h of t? What is h of t, Gilberto? What does h of t stand for? What type of height? Is it the starting height? The current height, the height that he is after whatever the question is asking. Oh, so the question is asking what his height is when this photo is taken. So this is his starting height at the top of the waterfall. We want to know how long it took him to fall until we took this picture. Probably going to be a really short amount of time. What is his starting height? Read through the problem. How high is he starting? 186. What is his ending height? Not his ending height. What is the height of when the photo was taken? 174. So if you haven't already, highlight those 2 pieces of information. So what's the next thing we're going to do? We have our h naught and we have our h of t. What do? Plug everything in. We have 174 equals negative 16t squared plus 186. What's my next step? What am I going to subtract? So what am I solving for? What variable? T. I'm solving for t. So I want to get t by itself. So what do I have to subtract? 186. 186. The only type of problem where you want it to get set equal to 0 is velocity. What is 174 minus 186? -12, thank you. What's my next step? What's the next thing I'm going to do? Divide by -16, exactly. What do you get? 0.75. I don't want you guys just copying what I'm doing. You should all have a calculator out and doing this yourself. What's my next step? Takes a square root. What is this? Yeah. The test is on Friday. Okay, so today and tomorrow are going to be purely review. Quickly. What is the square root of 0.75? What is it? Say it nice and loud so I can hear. 0.866. What happens when I have t squared and I take the square root of that? What am I left with? T. Be careful that you're not dropping down a t squared. Is this my final answer? What am I missing? What am I missing? Yes, a sentence. What am I missing? Plus or minus, exactly. So what am I going to write as a sentence? Tyler had been falling for how long? 0.866 seconds. Why is it not a negative 0.866? Because you can't go backwards in time, exactly. But you still have to clarify for the test that it is a plus or a minus. When you write your sentence, you choose which makes more sense. When this photo was taken. Make sure you're writing that sentence in. We're going to do one more word problem before you start working on your study guide. So I want you to flip to day 13, I believe, and it's number 22 for the word problem. Quietly read that to yourselves. Let me know what pieces of information are relevant and that you need to set up the problem, and if this is going to be velocity or falling objects. You got to read it. Well, you already read it. Yeah, so you're good. So right now we're quietly reading through the question. Which type of problem is this? Velocity. How do you know that? Because it literally says initial velocity of 17.8 feet. What other pieces of information are relevant? Initial height. What's my starting height? So we're trying to find when he finished his rotational flip. What is his starting height of his rotational flip? Everyone sitting up nice and tall, please. What is the starting height of his rotational flip? 7. That's why it's important to read, because you can't just pick out the first number you see. It might not be relevant. What is his ending height of his rotational flip? Make sure you read through the last few sentences. What is it? The athlete pictured here finished his rotational turn at a height of 2 feet above the water. The landing area is a squared-in portion of water that sits at a height of 1.3 feet above the water. find out how many seconds he was airborne when he finished his rotational flip. So what is the height when he finishes the rotational flip? 2. That's why it's super important to read through. So my V naught, you said, is 17.8. What's my starting height?
40.
It's my starting height of the rotational flip. 7, thank you. And what is my ending height? 2. Can we set up our model? Yes. What's my model? What's my model? H of t Okay, someone else. What's my next step? What's my next step? Plug in the numbers. 2 equals negative 16t squared plus 17.8 plus 7. Now what? Subtract 2. We need this to be set equal to 0. (17.8t) plus 5.
Wait, why was it testing 2? Wouldn't we push test 7?
So because this is a velocity problem, we have to get this set equal to 0 in order to start solving using the quadratic formula. Okay? What's my next step? Guys, sitting up nice and tall, please, or I'm going to turn the lights back on. What's my A? Walk me through it.
X equals.
X equals.
You want the
Yep, just give me the regular formula first.
X equals negative t plus or minus square root b squared minus 4 ac all over 2n.
Perfect.
And then
Make sure you're memorizing this formula before the test. What's my next step? I'm going to move down here.
x equals
Somebody else, what's my next step? Plug the numbers in. So I'm going to have x equals what? Negative 17.8 plus or minus 17.8 squared minus 4 times All right, solve it out. Right, because you have a negative times a negative times a positive. So it's going to be a positive. If you have a calculator, take it out. What is 17.8 squared? 316.84. What is my sign going to be, positive or negative? We have a negative times a negative times a positive. Has to be positive. Make sure you're always figuring out the sign first. So now we can do 4 times 16 times 5. 320. All over what? Keep going. Yep, really quick.
Thank you.
Did you get the answer?
Not yet.
That's one of them. Definitely one of them. $316.84 plus 320. What did you guys get for that? Someone tell me, please. 316.84 plus 320. 636.84, thank you. What is the square root of 636.84? 25.236. What is my next step? When I get to this point, what do I do next? What do I do next? You're going to first add 25.236, and then what are you also going to do? Subtract it. Yes. So we have negative 17.8 plus 25.236 over negative 32. I want you guys to do that. That will give me the final answer. And negative 17.8 minus 25.236 divided by negative 32. Let me know what you get. What did you guys get for the first one? What'd you get? 2, 3. What did you get for the numerator? Negative 17.
25 point.
Negative 17. 7 point. Okay. 36. What did you guys get for the numerator for the second one? Negative 17.8 minus 25.236. Negative. I got something a little bit different. So we're doing negative 17.8 minus 25.236. Negative 43.035. What did you get when you did that out? Me too. 1.34? Okay. Which one is my answer? Why? Why does it need to be positive? Right, because time can't be negative. So a final answer, you can cross this one out. It will take him 1.34 seconds to finish his rotation. Exactly. Are there any questions about this? No? So right now I want you to open up to the study guide.